Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here with another Troll and Toad EVO monthly update video. So we're going to start at the dashboard. I'll go through this kind of quick. At the end of the video, the bulk of the video will be going through a decent sized collection that I bought from Pokemon Radar to kind of stock my store with a bit of WOTC Holos. So first thing that kind of stands out, my current balance is $1,757, but my last payment for the month of July, I mentioned recently that I don't do auto pay. I pay out manually on the first of the month to capture how much I did the prior month. So $11,100 I did for the month of July, which was a little bit off my June sales of 13,400. Total active units 13.5K. Last month they were 13.3, so I do have a little bit more active. Total available is 56.8K, whereas last month it was 54. So I do have 2,800 additional cards there. And the retail value of what's active is 47,000 compared to 48 last month, so that's pretty stable. And the total available, which is just adding in what I have on hold, is 134,000, whereas last month it was 121K. So I was able to grow my available inventory by 13,000 while selling 11,000 of it. So essentially in 1 month, I fed in $25,000 worth of product. My main goal right now is to get as much as I can to them. I really want to feed this and just get a really substantial amount of inventory there. You'll see down in the bottom in the shipment section, I have 3,000 units inbound, 3,000 units processing, with a total retail value between the two of about 20,000. So I've really started this month off quickly, feeding it a lot more. And these first 2 weeks of being full-time, having quit my job, I took each Friday, I took a carload, complete carload to UPS to ship into them. So next I will show you, that didn't go to the tab I wanted, my shipments tab. So I have a couple shipments that I'm working on right now. This is like Hidden Fate singles, and I guess this one I didn't add anything to yet, but yeah, down here you'll see the 29th, I brought out all of these one carload, and then the 6th, I brought out all of these in another carload. I was really happy. I think the quickest turnaround I saw from the 29th of July to the 4th of August. Part of the reason for that is these 3 20 unit shipments were just 2 ETB cases that I taped together and shipped out. So 20 ETBs, it's really quick to verify and throw into the inventory. So this might have been sleeves or something like that. But most of these shipments were low in units because they were just bigger, bulkier ETBs, booster boxes, things of that nature. Whereas this past week, I did have one that had quite a few cards in it. And then a couple more things like play mats, some coins, some pins, some figures, things of that nature. I'm really trying to get through my personal backlog and get all this stuff out to EVO so that I can get the proceeds from that into buying more collections. One last thing that I did want to show, which I accidentally went to first, on the last EVO video, user P-Bali, P-B-A-L-I, he suggested pretty interesting thing that I don't know how he found it. I don't know how one would find it without just knowing it. But if you go through your menu to the merchant fee summary, you'll see a fee summary page. Well, there's no way to navigate to this through their menu, but if you change merchant fee summary to merchant sales summary, you'll come to this menu, which you can export your sales into like a CSV file that you can open in Excel. but I guess this just gives you a prettier version of that where it shows you line by line. I mean, this is a very, very large web page, but it shows you in web page form a breakdown of every sale, the date, the set, what it's sold for, what the fee was. And I thought it was worth giving him a shout out because that was a pretty cool suggestion to show you this kind of hidden menu. But I guess one thing I did want to, yeah, so this 163, this is the latter half of this video, which we'll go to shortly. This is actually a collection that I bought from John, Pokemon Radar. I'll describe it more in the video when we're going through the cards, but this one hasn't physically shipped out yet. All these other ones were UPS, and they're at UPS on their way down to Troll and Toad. But this one I held on to because I wanted to record a video with it because it was a pretty decent WOTC collection, and I think that was worth showing the video. And I'm just going to ship that USPS in a small box because it's only 163 singles. Anyways, I will be right back with you. We'll kind of just pause here and you'll jump over to the overhead view where we'll go through the collection.
So here we are with the cards I was talking about earlier. And welcome to everyone who used the chapter function to skip ahead of all the Evo talk. So here's the collection I was talking about. This may look familiar to anyone who follows Pokemon Radar, John. He actually picked this up. He covered it in his recap video of the National that he attended last weekend. I think it was one of those last day vendor didn't want to take it home, so he got himself a pretty good deal. The way that it worked out, this isn't the entire collection he bought. He went through and he picked out what he wanted, either for his own personal collection or for grading purposes. And what's left here was pretty much just near mint, which works out perfect for Troll and Toad EVO. You don't really want to be sending mint copies of cards like this that you'd be better off grading. So yeah, I was able to buy this collection from him. One thing I did want to say on the last page here, you'll note that Pichu, the first card, it's very important that you organize the cards to match the itemized list that Evo gives you. And one thing I wanted to note, it's 163 cards. Troll and Toad offers a service called raw fulfillment, where for 6 cents a card, you could send them all 163 cards in no specific order. You wouldn't have to enter them manually line by line. And all it would cost you is 6 cents a card, which would be about $10, just for a reference. And this was something that I was very interested in myself. It probably took me an hour and a half to go through these, check out the condition. These cards here I'll show you at the end. I pulled these out. They were actually damaged, so they wouldn't qualify for near mint. They would have been rejected. But the reason I didn't use raw fulfillment for this was just because I wanted to get the total quicker up front so that I could pay John for the cards. He sent them along to me, and then we kind of figured out the price afterwards. And obviously that's not what I paid. That's the total list amount. What I did is I went through and I entered all these, and I looked at the lowest listed currently on Evo, and I just beat by a little bit, a buck or two, the lowest listed price on all the cards on Evo. So that's why I went through and itemized all these. Generally speaking, this would be a perfect candidate for the raw fulfillment function. So I'll show you the cards. I guess we'll start with the damaged ones quick. Most of these overall, a lot of them are in like decent looking shape, but generally speaking, it'll be something like that, like an otherwise near mint or higher card that just has a big ding. Kind of a shame when you see stuff like that, but yeah, big binder ding on Hitmonchan. It happens. I'm not going to show you every single fault of all these cards, but the Team Rocket set, I don't know why, really got hit the hardest out of all these. There were 2 Holo Dark Charizards that, yeah, really bad ding. These would, yeah, binder ding there. These would definitely have been rejected. All these cards just for, you can't send them damaged cards. They have two tiers of condition. They have near mint, and then they have, I believe they call it played. And anything heavily played or damaged will just get rejected and sent back to you. So one thing I forgot to mention on the itemized list, you'll kind of see that they go by set alphabetically. But the weird thing that I noticed, which I've run into a couple times now, like I have base set Blastoise and Charizard in here. For whatever reason, base set Alakazam, Alakazam through Ninetales were all alphabetically, but some of them got picked up later on. So you'll see as I go through this, it seems like it's not sorted by, like it's semi-sorted. It's kind of alphabetically, but then you'll see more of the same set later. Same thing for the base set too, Charizard. So yeah, the order of cards here won't really be appealing in that way because it'll feel like it kind of jumps around, but I was kind of at the mercy of Troll and Toad sorting when it came to that. So and I'll pause on a couple cards. I'll kind of show you a better look at them just so that you can see the general condition. Some people might, when you're looking at these quick, they might feel like they're, oh man, they're mint. Why would he be shuffling them raw without sleeves? I've mentioned it before, but when you're if you're sending raw fulfillment, the cards can be in sleeves and you'll get charged the same 6 cents for them to sort and itemize and take them out of the sleeves. But if you're sending them where you've done the list and essentially you're not paying because you've done the sorting, they cannot be sleeved. If they're sleeved, they'll charge you the money to unsleeve them, the same 6 cents. So you might as well not sort them anyways if you're going to send them in sleeves. But really great mix of WOTC Holos here. So many. The Neo sets, the Base Jungle Fossil, Base 2 Rocket. It was a really great collection by Southern Islands. Something right up my alley, what I've been kind of eyeing. A little bit of Reverse Holo EX Ruby and Sapphire. A couple Ruby and Sapphire EXs. A little bit of Japanese even. Like this is the exact kind of collection in near mint condition that I've been kind of looking to buy to just stock my Evo inventory. And yeah, as I was saying, people might cringe a little bit me shuffling these raw unsleeved, but again, it's because you can't send them sleeved. And the general condition of these cards, I'll show you on the, yeah, you see all the silvering, you see the hollow scratching, you see quite a bit of whitening. Troll and Toad near mint, they kind of have a bad reputation. I don't really think it's a deserved one, but they, to me, anywhere from PSA 6 to 8 is what I generally send when I'm doing Troll and Toad near mint. All that edge silvering, hollow scratching, maybe print lines, quite a bit of whitening. So Blastoise, Charizard, they're kind of cards that you probably could grade in this condition, but I already have so many out for grading. I just think it'll be good to get some of those more high demand cards at my Evo to work on the volume, work on getting those incentive thresholds. So yeah, there's the base set too. Pretty great cards. A little bit of old school EXs. Dragonite. It almost seems like they pulled the higher value cards towards the end. Yeah, some really, really beautiful, nostalgic cards. Honestly, whoever buys some of these from my Troll and Toad EVO, some of them they might end up pretty surprised, pretty happy with how good the condition is. But then, some of these probably do fall a little bit towards the lower end of the near mint quality threshold too. So overall, pretty near mint is a pretty fair average description of these. One of my favorite, I mentioned when Nick and I were asked our top 3 or top 5 arts. That's one of them for me. That brings me right back. My light went out. Brings me right back to the Lake of Rage, that red Gyarados. Shining Magikarp. I think when John originally bought it, I want to say there was at least a few each of these. So he kept a couple of those. I don't know if they were gradable or not. Hopefully he'll make out well with a high grade copy. I'm going to have to wrap up quick. My light's giving me issues here. But yeah, that's what I've got to kind of stock my Evo store with a bit more WOTC Holo stuff. Not too much that I had, and I didn't think it deserved its own video. I kind of do videos when I make big buys, or I found these. I was just going through some random totes and boxes, and I don't know how I lost years ago. Must be when I opened the box, but I had lost some Holon Phantoms packs. So these might head to Evo down the line. I'll probably list them fairly high on my eBay. Maybe see if anyone has any listed at Evo, but I'll list them on eBay for now, and down the line, I've had good luck, better luck at Evo with selling loose packs than selling them on eBay. But yeah, that's all I have for today. I appreciate you all watching, and I will catch you all later.